terrific today. You talked about the accolades with these two programs. You mentioned the 9 national championships, 6 for Alabama and 3 for Florida, and 29 individual titles for Alabama, 20 for Florida, and SEC titles, 10 for Alabama and 13 for Florida. Now, Florida hosts one of the most impressive freshman class in the history of collegiate gymnastics. Let's look at these people who came into the program this year. Sloan Blakely, 2021 level 10 senior national champion, the former elite who dominated as a level 10. Her teammate Bree Edwards, also very successful as a level 10 athlete. But 2 athletes that have world medals also joining the program. They are Riley McCusker, member of the 2018 world champion team for the USA, and Leanne Wong, 2021 Olympic reserve athlete and the reigning world silver medalist in the all-around. Now, there is one athlete, unfortunately, who is not with the team right now. She is one of the potential superstars, and that is the 2017 world all-around champion, Morgan Hurd. Kathy, she is out.
Well, one thing that is intact is her sense of humor. She said she got tired of the elbow surgeries, had a knee repair, and I tell you what, if positive energy leads to a great recovery, we're going to see phenomenal things from her next year.
We wish her well. Let's go to the 3rd member of our broadcast team, world and Olympic medalist, Samantha Pesha. Let's go, Sam.
You're going to see a lot of lineup changes with this Alabama team in comparison to week 1. Lily Hudson, Shallon Olsen, and Kaylee Quinn are back and expected to take 7 spots competitively here today. They've been monitoring them at practice to check out their stamina, their readiness. Head coach Dana Duckworth said that she is not going to prioritize this meet for the future of their season. So if they're not 100%, they're not going in.
All right, thank you, Sam. We're looking forward to this meet as some of the finest gymnasts, not just in the country, but in the world, will be competing today in Gainesville. Stay with us, folks. Yeah. A sellout crowd here today at the O-Dome in Gainesville. Over 9,000 on hand. That's their 5th sellout in history, but the first time ever that they sold out the day before the competition. And what a weekend of gymnastics we have already had, Kathy, leading off with the Arkansas-Auburn meet, which came down to the wire.
And Arkansas packed the arena. Both teams scored over 197. Kennedy Hambrick here won the all-around and scored a 995 on the floor exercise. Olympic champion Sunisa Lee did not disappoint the Auburn fans. Near perfection on the uneven bars. A high fly miss onto a 995 on the uneven bars.
And then Utah hosted Oklahoma. Utah setting the season-high team score for all NCAA teams for the moment.
That's Grace McCallum, silver medalist from the Olympics. And this is Jordan Mallory, newcomer from Oklahoma, a stellar competition for her.
Then later that evening, it was Arizona State at Michigan, and Michigan with 5 all-rounders after they won the national championship, continue the momentum with a 197.
Looking like the championship team they were last year. Maddie Aguero, near perfection on both team and ball. Fought for that landing and a huge score.
I think you can sense our excitement for this upcoming season of gymnastics. Look how many meets we have. 37 meets on the ESPN family of networks, 17 teams from 4 different conferences, 12 Olympic team members from 5 countries will be in the NCAA this year, and the teams we'll be seeing have won a combined 40 NCAA championships. Let's go down to Sam Pesha.
Of star power in the competition today. Both Alabama and Florida have a ton of former national team members, but across the board, the level of athletes coming into college gymnastics this year is unprecedented. It's going to dramatically increase the parity of all of these competitions. It's going to be a huge season to look for. There's going to be ups, there's going to be downs, there's going to be so many twists and turns this season, and it's starting here today. It's going to be an incredible day. We're coming right back to an amazing competition. See it next.
Here, They call it the O-Dome. I'm Bar Connor, along with Kathy Johnson-Clark and Sam Pescick. We are getting set for the action. Let's remind everybody what the rules are in collegiate competition. 6 gymnasts will compete on each event for each team, just counting the best 5 out of those 6 scores towards the team total in every apparatus. The home team event order is vault, bars, beam, and floor. The away team starts on the bars, but has to finish on the beam. So Jenny Rowland, in her 7th season here at Florida, has put together an incredible team, and all the other coaches around the country are in awe of her ability to recruit such amazing talent down here to Florida. I guess it has something to do with the quality of the program, but I don't think the palm trees hurt either.
I was going to say sunshine, warm weather, it's a pretty good selling point.
And Dana Duckworth, of course, she took over as a coach there at Alabama after the legacy of Sarah and David Patterson after 36 years, and Dana has her team in good shape. Last year they peaked at exactly the right time to win the SEC championship. This year they were a little rough last week in their opening meet.
Yes, they definitely opened a little weaker than they hoped to, but we expect to see them turn the page here in this competition. Those fresh faces, we wanted to see in the lineup. They will make their debuts today.
All right, first up for Florida on the vault will be Megan Skaggs. She, along with Leanne Wong, are the only 2 Gators that are slated to do the all-around today.
Now, the important thing to look for in vault is the start value of the vault that each gymnast performed. Some will be a 10.0 start value. This one that Megan is performing is a 9.95 start value, and she can do it almost perfectly every time out. Yurchenko full. Position in the air opens that out. I mean, that straight body position is just money in the air.
And she just floated it down for that landing.
The judges look for amplitude, which is the height and the distance from that table. They want to see an explosive block off that table.
Oh, yeah, she's happy with that start. Only scored a 9.75 in the opener, but that will be much better than a 9.75 here in the second meet of the season for the Gators. Emily Gaskins now set to go for Alabama on the bars.
Look for the high-flying single bar release move. She's going to open with one right here, called a Ray. Oh, a little bit close to the bar on that regraph. Now transitions to the low bar with another side element. She's a little bit off on that pack salto. See, just a little bit of nerves here. A little stretch short on that last handstand. Those need to be right on top of the bar in that vertical position. Had to work for that double layout that came up with the stick. Well done at the end.
Let's go down to Sam.
Yeah, I had spoke to head coach Jenny Rowland and asked her what the message was to the team right before they came out here. And she said to fight, to be normal, and to be blue. And blue for them is just normal. Do what they do every single day in practice.
All right, thank you, Sam. Excited to see this young lady, Bree Edwards.
And like Megan, she'll be performing the Yurchenko full 9.95 start value. So that's the highest score that she can earn.
Score for Skaggs was a 9.875.
Okay, pretty good height and distance, but a very big hop after the vault. So the judges will take off a fairly sizable deduction for that hop. Now watch if the vault rises. That had good lift off the table, so nice amplitude off the table. Great distance, just that big hop.
Go back to bars for Alabama. Maddie Aguero will be up second. And she's a junior out of Minnesota.
I always get so excited about the dismount. I know she's got to get through the routine, but she does a spectacular dismount. Very difficult, the most difficult in the competition. She's going to open on the high bar.
Did the all-around last week for Alabama. Opener against Oklahoma.
Giant to a blind change to half turn into her straddle yoga. Perfect distance from the bar. That's exactly the way you want to extend those arms for the regraph. Now watch her set up for this dismount. It's a double back in layout position with a full twist. Phenomenal difficulty. Just that hop back. So here's the thing in college gymnastics. We love the difficulty. But it is so important. If you're going to do the difficult skills, you still have to hit and stick for no deduction.
Good point, Kathy. A lot of these coaches are always juggling the fact, the risk versus reward type dynamic, because competition in collegiate gymnastics is significantly different than Olympic competition.
That's the defense part of gymnastics. It's usually all offense, but strategy in the line, strategy in the construction. This is a first look at the 1.5 twist. No start value if she makes it. Oh, a little short of rotation. She fought hard. Nice quad strength there to really stay on her feet. But this was under-rotated, meaning she didn't have the height or the rotation to maintain that laid out shape and get her feet right underneath her center of gravity for a good landing. That's a
Lucky
shame.
on that one. 9.925 was her average last year. How impressive she was as one of the most important contributors on ball for Florida. Her teammate, by the way, Bree Edwards, before her had a 9.775. Shania Adams next up for Alabama. Emily Gaskins' leadoff score was a 9.75.
This is her best event, and she just floats from bar to bar. Great transition work. Those flight elements earn her bonus. There's the third flight element with a half twist up the high bar. Really shows off that handsome full pirouette. Should have finished first, but hands to the left. Way to punctuate a very solid routine.
Before her, Walagora had a 9.8.
So these flight skills back and forth between the bars are very difficult release moves, and when you connect them you get bonus points, and of course a nice double tuck and a simpler dismount than we've seen, but very well executed.
Important moment here for Florida. So the score is in for Savannah Shane here. It was a 9.625. Remember, 6 athletes competing. You count just the best 5 scores. So these next 3 vaults have to be great, and Nia Reed can do it.
Absolutely. Watch her fly. If she times the block and gets the right position, she can fly. 9.5 twist. Wow! What a control landing. That is exactly what Florida needed. And right then, the distance on that ball, I have to say, I thought they were going to have to slide the mat out for her to catch her. She just flew off the back end of the table, almost to the second seam of that mat. Great control.
See the fist pumps from the assistant coaches there at Florida. Wow. Owen and Adrian are so energetic and passionate about what they're doing here in Florida, in contrast to Jenny. They make a great combination. We'll talk about that later if we go back to Alabama on the bars.
Watch these skills. The judges look closely to make sure that the legs stay together. Hers comes slightly apart on both of those flight elements.
Adams had a 9.85 before her.
Minor deduction. Nice job keeping your legs together on that Van Loon, the transition with a half turn. Let's see if she can get the stick. Nice on that dismount and a perfect landing.
College basketball Super Tuesday on ESPN. It's Kansas in Norman to take on Oklahoma at 7 p.m. Eastern. And at 9 p.m. Duke squares off against Florida State. Those games are also available on the ESPN app. So Nia Reed's score is in now. It's a 9.975. And she was rewarded for that height and distance. So outstanding momentum builder here as they lead into Leanne Wong, who is the reigning Olympic silver medalist in the all-around.
Relatively new vault. Watch this. Very good front half on. Front pike half. Oh, she landed a little short. That chest was down. It's a really difficult vault and one that's new for her. She decided this was the vault she wanted to do in college. It's a 10-0. She was off the back of the board. That's what happened. She was right on the end of that board. You don't quite get as much bounce out of it from there.
It is an adjustment when you come from elite gymnastics into collegiate gymnastics, and her story is just flat out remarkable. We'll talk about it a little bit later, but She has the potential to have an incredible collegiate career. And talk about great careers. Luisa Blanco, so fun to watch her come into her own last year for Alabama as a leader.
No question there. She hit that first handstand, held it, and her flight elements are gorgeous. She has just perfect form, legs straight, toes point, legs glued together, shows off the handstands. Now watch the position in the air. It's a double layout or a half in, half out. Double back with a full twist and just executed so beautifully.
Good scores for Alabama over there so far. Gaskins had a 9.75, but then it was a 9.8, a 9.85, and a 9.85.
Watch the tuck position. Legs glued together. She maintains the toe point throughout the entire skill. Lovely.
Well, we're going to go back to vault now because Leanne Wong score is in. It's a 9.725. So Florida will have to score and count towards their team total one slightly subpar score. But they can make it up all here with Trinity Thomas, who scored a perfect 10 on every event in gymnastics except this one. I think this year could be the time.
This is a huge ball. Wonderfully executed. 1.5 twist. There it is. Oh my gosh. Oh my, I gotta stand up.
Oh my goodness.
Was amazing. I mean, it had everything. It had the amplitude. I'll have to see it from the judges' perspective. They sit right on the side.
Wow.
But the height and distance was spectacular.
Oh, man.
And that was just, wow. Opens up the arms out to the side to really show it off. Does not move her feet.
Oh, look at that. There it is, Kathy. It's a perfect 10 for Trinity Thomas.
Do you know how long she's waited for that?
Oh, my goodness. And they're going crazy here in the O-Dome as Makari Doggett goes to the bars for Alabama. What a moment.
And Makari's doing some big, beautiful gymnastics. While they go crazy, look at the gorgeous double layout to finish that routine. Good for her, because that is not easy to keep your concentration, your focus, when you can't even hear the sounds you need to hear, the bars, and wow.
What an incredible first rotation here in Gainesville. We've been waiting for when is the possibility that Trinity will finally put that ball where she needs to land it to get the perfect score. And we saw it today. She waited till ABC television was here to do it. Wow, what a career this young lady has had, and what a shining moment today here at home. We'll be back with more women's gymnastics from the O'Connell Center after this message and a word from our ABC station.